Hello. Today we're gonna introduce you our research project or our research formulation about a topic, and our topic is the effects of stain and non-stain living salsas. Well, basically, to introduce our paper, basically chamoy is considered a candy or sauce composed of chili, lemon, and other components. That's where it begins to damage the digestive system. The product currently has many preservatives, flavorings, and colorings, but most importantly, the artificial chemicals that produce that striking red color of the sauce, which harms the digestive system, especially the gastric mucus. In February 2007, an article in the journal Science presented evidence that chili peppers were domesticated in South America at least by 6,000 years ago. The Aztecs living where southern Mexico is now used chilies as far back as 7,000 before Christ. They began cultivating them probably before 3,500 before Christ. Columbus most likely brought the peppers to Europe and India, where they became popular in any culture that enjoyed spicy cuisine. Evidence of hot sauces have been found in all kinds of Asian ruins, ships, showing that this has been an important making food more palatable as well as being medicinal, aiding in digestion and is great for the liver. It is also believed that it releases endorphins with that surge of hot when you eat chilies. Basically, the objective of our research paper about the stained or non-stained sauces is basically the study to compare the behavior of the people who are tasting the two different sauces, to measure how much they like and how much they feel the taste. The results could lead to a correlation between the variables involved. These results could be useful to measure the behavior of the people using our variables. Our main objective is to analyze if the actual subconsciousness can influence in the taste and how much they can enjoy with the two different variables that in this case are our sauces. We are going to start with the technological research format, and is how in the problem, our problem is the identification of people's behavior against food by asking the question, if people eat staining food, then they will enjoy it more. And our hypothesis is, if people eating staining food will enjoy and have actually find a better taste in the food rather than the non-stainly food, then it will show that the subconsciousness is playing a role in the flavor you interpret.
We include different materials. Our ingredients were sugar, water, chili, lemon, salt, natural non-stainable food coloring, and chips. And our container was a plastic bowl.
Now let's explain the experiment. So here are our variables. The dependent variable are psychological ideas and subconsciousness. Staining food. Which food got eaten first? How much time took to eat both staining and non-staining food? How many bites per piece? The reaction of the taste and texture. The independent variables are the level of food staining potential. Now the constant variables, the bowl of chips, both sauces flavor, and here is the data we collect after making the experiment. In men and in women. The steps and our procedures were: first, we create the two sauces with the same ingredients for them to have the same flavor, but the variable is one will be stainable salsa and the other non-stainable. Then we filled two separate bowls with chips. We put the chips into two bowls that have the same dimensions and same quality of chips for not having an actual difference in both the bowls of chips. Put one type of sauce in one bowl and the other type of sauce in the other bowl. The two sauces look the same and taste the same, so we will have two bowls of chips with an extra mini sauce bowl where the sauce will be. Then we will collect 50 persons to try the chips, both men and women, from each of the bowls without telling them the difference. These 50 candidates will first be in a selection questionnaire for having the best and reliable candidates that can actually support the data we collect in the investigation. We will gather all the data we need to compare it with our variables we used in the investigation. We want to compare every info we collect of the experiment to every variable to actually have some results that can support our hypothesis. Each person will choose which sauce did they like the most. Based on the majority liked, we will know if our hypothesis was right or wrong.
To conclude with our final project and research paper about stained and non-stained sauces, I think that the conclusion is that basically these two sauces being stained and non-stained basically is not about the chili, but also is affected by the way the sauce marks in your fingers, also in an aesthetical way, being very based on the gender, as men and women, how women like non-stained sauces and how men basically prefer the stained sauce. Basically, the genre plays a very hard role on this type of variables that were our two types of sauces, and how basically the sauce is being preferred based on a sexual gender or on the way you look at the way your fingers look. Is not about basically the flavors and the chili impact you have on your system. It also affects, but the real concept is about the genders. And I feel that with this project we basically learned lots of things. We basically learned how to use correlational variances and how basically use different types of tests, being numerical data and also sometimes categorical data in the moment of testing with other people here at Prepatech and other people, how we were testing them to tell them if they prefer sauce number 1 and sauce number 2, using lots of categorical data and sometimes being also numbers. And I feel we got more knowledge that we had before doing this research paper, and we feel we got to a very correct hypothesis and to a very